anything as historically significant as electing the first black person president of the United States in our life. It is an enormous moment in history, and I'm humbled by it.
Let's toss it over to Aaron and Pierce, who are standing by at one of the inaugural parties. And a lot of people, Aaron and Pierce, are wanting to see what Michelle Obama is going to be wearing tonight to these inaugural events.
Well, I've got a funny feeling he's going to look rather like me in a tux. Yeah. So, you know, call me a guesser, call me a betting man, but I've got a feeling we'll see the president in a tux.
You know what the best part today was? Women's Wear Daily, which follows fashion, tweeted out, "Where's Barack Obama wearing the same old Brooks Brothers coat he wore last time?" And I'm thinking, isn't that okay? Can't he wear the same coat? Obviously not her, but...
I can say it's filling up here. Now, lots of very excited people. And the reason that I'm so excited, we've been joined by, he doesn't know this, but somebody that I would view played the greatest dramatic character in the history of television. And that is Richard Schiff, who played Toby Ziegler in The West Wing, the great White House communications director, and he's here with me now. Welcome to you, sir.
That was quite an introduction.
Well, I just watched The West Wing all 7 seasons for the 3rd time. So I can almost quote everything you've ever said in that show. We haven't got time. I wish we did. But let's focus on the president. You've been here in Washington today, an amazing day of history in many ways, but a man with a purpose now, you get a sense. What did you make of his speech?
Exactly that. He seemed to reconfirm that he's here for a purpose, he's here for a reason. I love that he mentioned gay and lesbian equal rights. He's very emphatic about equal pay for women. And he's very clear message to the 47% that have been left out for quite a bit of this process for the last number of years, that he was redeveloping the middle class. So even Henry Ford knew that. You gotta create a middle class that can buy the products that we make. Otherwise, there's no marketplace here in America, and that's a no-brainer to a lot of us. But it's clearly a hard fight for him.
What would Toby Ziegler say to President Obama in the Oval Office tomorrow?
He'd probably say, well done. Thank you for saying my words so nicely. And let's get to work.
Get stuff done.
What's that?
Get stuff done.
Let's get to work. I'm always reminded when I think about the legacy of a president and where he is in history, which they were talking about earlier, putting his perspective in history. I pitched to Aaron Sorkin at one point when I really looked at the Bartlett administration and what we've achieved, which wasn't a whole lot of great things, little things. And I said, I want to have a speech for me, which I rarely ask for, about what our legacy is. Where is our great frontier? Where is our New Deal? Where is our great society, and so on? I think that's what they're probably thinking about. What mark can we leave on America in the next 4 years without apology, because there's no re-election now? Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. And we're all hoping that that's what happens.
Right. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
A real pleasure.
No, very much so, yes.
Great to see you.
And thank you for not asking me about guns, because I would get very upset.
Well, get upset about guns.
Well, you're doing it for all of us.
Well, I'd like you to join me. I mean, your character, Toby Ziegler, made one of the great speeches about guns.
Absolutely.
In the West Wing, pointing out that America has a huge gun problem. That was more than 10 years ago.
Yes.
What should the president do?
Exactly what he's saying he's going to do, which is, getting Joe Biden to figure a way out of this. We're stuck in a lobby mess, right? We have a very powerful lobby. We have an industry that makes a lot of money off munitions and off of guns. We come from violence. We're a violent culture. There's no denying that. But when is enough enough? And when are we going to start taking measures to stop even one child from the kind of tragedy that we've experienced lately? I don't know what the answer is, but I know that most Americans, Republicans, NRA members, agree with very basic, easy answers, which is the magazines and the automatic weapons and so on. But there are very, very, as you experience, impassioned people who believe the Second Amendment is a Bible. One more interesting point. There are 2 different versions of the Second Amendment that were passed. The one passed by Congress had a capital letter for a state and for a militia. The one passed by the states had a lowercase. So it was a compromise right from the beginning. Two very different interpretations of what that Second Amendment means.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Very important debate. Thank you, Richard. That was important.
All right. Well, there are two designers anxiously awaiting to see whether Michelle Obama chose his or her dress to wear tonight. My understanding, talking to someone close to it, said she had about 15 designers who had to send her dresses.
It'll be an American designer, that I can tell you.
It will not be McQueen. And they do not know who it will be. And they will see when the world sees. The First Lady and the President will be hitting the dance floor for their first dance in a couple of hours. That's coming up. But first, Beyonce today with an absolutely beautiful...
That's the best rendition of the national anthem I have ever heard.
It was stunning. Here it is.
So proudly we held at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the
I'm a conservative investor.
I invest in what I know.
I turned 65 last week. I'm getting married, planning a life.
There are risks, sure, but there's no reward without it.
I want to be prepared for the long haul. I see a world bursting with opportunities. India, China, Brazil.
iShares.
Small caps.
Large caps.
iShares.
Industrials. Low cost.
Every dollar counts.
iShares.
Income.
Dividends.
Bonds.
I like bonds.
iShares. Commodities.
Diversification.
Choices.
My own ideas.
iShares. I want to use the same stuff the big guys use.
iShares.
9 out of 10 large professional investors choose iShares for their ETFs. Introducing the iShares Core. ETFs for the heart of your portfolio. Tax efficient and low-cost building blocks to help you keep more of what you earn. Call your advisor. Visit iShares.com.
iShares.
Yeah, iShares.
iShares by BlackRock. Call 1-800-iShares for a prospectus, which includes investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Read and consider it carefully before investing.
She went down in the Outer Shoals, 1801. Outgunned by a frigate. She took most of the crew with her. The captain was hauled out, taken prisoner. Never to see her again.
After the nation celebrates, now the hard work begins. Wolf Blitzer looks at what's ahead for President Obama's second term. The Situation Room, tomorrow at 4 on CNN.
Every day, KTVU Channel 2 News at 5 is all about coverage. Breaking news, major news, important local stories. Our team of experienced reporters and photographers swarm on big stories. Journalists that dig for details day in and day out.
It's a challenge we meet daily to serve you.
We invite you to watch KTVU Channel 2 News at 5 every day.
KTVU Channel 2 News at 5. Complete Bay Area news coverage.
What does it take to offer 2-hour appointment windows? It takes a dispatch unit acting more like ground traffic control. It takes innovative technologies. It takes automatic schedule updates and real-time mapping. It takes commitment to being on time, in less time than ever. 2-hour appointment windows, part of the Comcast customer guarantee.
This is CNN.
The president, as he was looking at the troops, the overview of the troops, Pierce, before the actual parade began. Pretty amazing moment. One of the things that I find so amazing about America's military is how precise and perfect their training is. Do you know that they are trained to take 28-inch steps?
Yeah, amazing.
And they do it, and they don't look down. And it's an amazing thing.
Americans always go on about how the British do pomp and ceremony better than anybody else, including America. I watched today a lot of the stuff that was going on, and I thought America does it pretty well too. I mean,
really?
You roll out the barrel for the president, and that was very impressive today.
Yeah, it was beautifully done, and it makes us all proud. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican or something else, proud to be an American. Well, all eyes today, though, were not really on the president.
But on the bank.
I think they were really on the First Lady.
By the way,
the banks,
is it compulsory that you have to like the banks? Because I'm not convinced.
You don't like them?
Well, it's not like I dislike them. You can't dislike anything the First Lady wears, including her hair, because she's so beautiful. But I'm not a big fan of the banks.
I mean, I'm not a fan of bangs in general. I think they're hard to pull off. But I think that they look great on her, and she looks really hip.
She looks great.
Yes.
Not sure about the banks. Sorry.
All right. She is, you know, if you look at, there was a Harvard Business Review study, everybody, that showed that when Michelle Obama wears your clothes, if you're a publicly traded company, your stock goes up. That is power that no celebrity in the world has. People look at what she wears, and she gets people to shop. And our own Alina Cho has more on what the First Lady wore today, which is getting rave reviews, from what I've heard, from almost everyone.
If watching First Lady Michelle Obama's fashion choices is a sport, this day's equivalent is the Super Bowl, the inauguration, fashion's biggest prize. When Mrs. Obama emerged in the morning, her choice, coat and dress, was American designer Tom Brown. We tracked him down at his hotel in Paris, celebrating the moment.
You can never predict, you know, life to happen this way, and I'm just so fortunate. I'm so honored and so proud that she chose mine.
For this occasion, the 47-year-old designer chose fabric for the First Lady based on men's silk ties.
Well, I had an idea that the president would be wearing navy, so I wanted to do something that she would look really good with him. And I chose a dark navy fabric, which is actually a silk jacquard fabric that I've used in my men's collection.
So who is this man who spells his first name with an H? Tom Brown started his business with 5 suits, appointment only, back in 2001. Officially, he's been designing women's clothes for just 2 years. He's best known for redefining menswear.
He's the reason that a lot of men are wearing smaller suits. If we see exposed ankles in a man's pants, it's probably because Tom Brown invented the shrunken suit. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's well-known or a household name.
People know me as a menswear designer, and I think now that they will start looking at my women's, I think, with a different eye.
Brown also designs a collection for Brooks Brothers and men's coats for Montclair. Known for pushing the envelope, the man from Allentown, Pennsylvania, stages elaborate fashion shows.
I will never forget the time that his show involved the models climbing out of coffins. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get.